Really, really good. And Ray's frozen on your side. I just want to say we're gonna wait him out so he can come back in because this guy is speaking some truth into our space. We are talking about the real thing and what it's like for us to minister in our own skin. This is a problem and a challenge that we've had for a long time, especially in our own context of the Polynesians, because we've used a space that we try to mimic that belong to someone else. But we need to figure out how to do that within our own space, our own context, especially wherever your context may be locally. Now, Ray says you can hear me. Ray, I know you can hear me now. I can't hear or see you, and I miss you. So come back on with me, man. Let's see. Where are you at? How about this? Ray, you can still see me, so I'm gonna hang up on you in a second here, and you can call me back. Oh, I like that, Olga. Yes, I like that. That's a word right there. Okay, Ray, I'm hanging up on you. If you can hear me, call me back. I'll wait around for you. We got time. We got time. Um, yeah, we've got to be able to work that. So while Ray's coming back in, I want to say, since Meshach is on here, Shaq, one of the things that you did that I thought was just beautiful was a few years ago. I was speaking at Loma Linda University, Loma Linda Academy, and when we were at Loma Linda Academy, I don't remember exactly why you guys were there, Shaq. Maybe your boys were there, or there was some kind of event. Maybe it was like a football event, tourney or something like that. And after I got done talking, I came down and we spent a moment together, just in the crowd, just kind of hugging, like giving each other some love. And one of the things that Meshach said to me is he said, "Man, thank you. I'm proud of you because my sons need to see more men like us picking up the mantle of Christ." And it's so true because we don't have enough people trying to stay in their lane, doing their work, being a light to, others. Ray, you with me? You can hear me?
Yes, I
I
can
see
hear
you
you.
nodding.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Yeah,
pop back into your word there, bro. Sorry,
yeah.
we lost each other. I miss you.
I don't even know where I started. I mean, stop. Where
I
I cut
I
out.
do want to say that I celebrate all my peoples out there who are doing the work, man. When I see Shaq stuff up, man, I'm absolutely thrilled. When I see you, Ray, when I see
Yeah,
Olga does this thing. I'm giving shout outs now to our peoples. Olga does this like worship thing like almost every day. Man, when you guys are out there doing that stuff, it's just
yeah,
that's what we all need to be doing. Like we all need to be
yeah,
doing that, and we need to be lifting that up. So great job. My pastor, Pastor Filemu, over at Gardena, man, he's always out there helping out. They're trying to get that food bank going with the community. That's what we got to do. We got to be about that, man.
absolutely, absolutely.
So, bro,
Can
you're
you hear me?
super
Yeah.
fit, man. You are what I would look like if in my sleep when I'm dreaming. So, but in the mirror it tells me differently. Tell me,
Just
how'd you
get a
get into this
cardboard
fitness
cutout
thing?
of your face.
Yeah.
Just get a cardboard
Give
cutout
me
of my face,
I,
bro.
I want to get a cutout of your abs and put it on my shirt, bro. How'd you get into this fitness thing, man?
Yeah, look, I first thank my parents for always being active,
Mm,
and again, church socials, sport, and then really just got to thank my thousands and thousands of cousins who would often play rugby with me and throw me on the ground and going, well, you need to get tougher, you need to get stronger.
mm-hmm.
And so just I've always been around sort of activity and sport and stuff. And so fitness thing that sort of was a byproduct of sport because here where I am, I played state volleyball. I represented the state years ago, and so
Nice.
naturally I was
What's your
like,
vert?
well,
Tell me right now. Do you know what it is?
I think it's 40.
40.
I think it's 40. Yeah,
That's all right,
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. That's all right.
That's I don't know.
I've got
Is that a good
three.
thing?
Three's my vert
Three.
right now.
You got four.
I got 4.5.
um, yeah, so I guess the fitness element came in because I just wanted to be better for sport. But
Yeah.
then I realized, man, I actually enjoy just being active and being fit, and why not do it with other people as well and be fit together? And
Right.
so yeah, so I've carried that basically on up until now. Like so
Mm.
that's sort of So I wouldn't say I woke up one morning and went, I want to be active. And I've always
Yeah.
been around sport and around people who play sport and who are always active. And so I'm always keen to do some movement.
Yeah, I need to do more of that, especially during these quarantine times. I wanna, I wanna put. I can you believe it's already 3:42? Like our time is almost up, bro.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow.
but so because of that, I wanna kind of ask some questions. I want to talk about a little bit about
Yeah.
mental health,
Yeah.
and mental abuse. You guys did a workshop or something like that on mental abuse, not too long ago. Can you talk a little bit about that? What does that look like there in Australia? You said that domestic violence is pretty high in your local area.
Yeah.
Give us a feel for it and tell us how you guys have been working through mental health, for your peoples, and then we'll go into our 3, 2, 1 hacks, my friends, because our time is rolling right now.
Yeah. So within Australia, it's a big thing. It really is a big thing, mental health, because obviously one of the things that spur out from mental health is domestic violence, or DV as we call it. And so one of the big things that are happening right now in within Australia, there's a lot of great campaigns that are
Mm,
televised, and there are initiatives as well. There's a day that's set up by an organization that the whole country celebrates. It's called it's Are You Okay? The
mm,
letter R, the letter U, and OK, and it's a yellow
nice.
sign, and it's a day that we just check in with each other. Are you okay? Hey, how are things going? And obviously, there's a whole bunch of other community organizations that are on TV and on social media saying, hey, we need to be a better community. And so the reason why we took that mantle up as, I guess, men within this particular community that I live in is that, again, the statistics of domestic violence or cases that have been reported are super, super high. So
Wow.
if you can imagine that COVID brought a lot of people going, yeah, I don't have to go to work, I don't have to go to school, and it's so
Right.
cool, I didn't have to, work from home. But if you're in a situation where domestic violence is high, man, that's the worst thing a victim can ever think of, is
Mm,
being at home 24/7 with someone who has that, I guess, a power over them. And so when we decided to tackle domestic violence and go, why mental health and why mental abuse? Well, it's because if we can, as men, like I said before, if we can, it starts with us really, like for
yeah.
you yourself, like you are the change. I met a friend of mine who started an initiative called She Is Not Your Rehab in New Zealand. His name is Matt Brown. You find him on social media as well. That he's a
Mm-hmm.
barber in New Zealand, and I met him years ago when I lived in Christchurch. And the stories that he would share of people, of men who would come into their chair who were broken and who had just suffered trauma, and then therefore they would, because of their trauma experience, they would then
Yeah.
reflect or express it on the people that they love. And
Mm-hmm.
so the biggest thing is that he said we need a space to talk about it as men, and we need to let our guard down. And so we decided, hey,
Oh,
that's
that's a
what we're
tough
going to
one,
do.
man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I feel like that's worth us repeating a little bit right here. Man, you need to let your guard down.
yeah. And I
It's
think,
actually harming us. It's
yeah,
counterintuitive to us getting healthy.
absolutely. And the way that my mate described it, that Matt described it, is like it's like that inner boy that we're trying to protect, that inner boy
Yeah.
that got hurt or traumatized or whatever experience, whichever age group, like whichever, how old you were, is that we need to have permission to go, okay, it happened, and I was
Mm-hmm.
afraid, but I don't have to be that child, like that built up anger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So even getting amongst men and saying, hey, how are you? Like just that simple question alone, because our default responses, bro, we do it all the time, right? How are you? Oh
Mm.
yeah, I'm good. I was like,
Right.
no, no, how are you? Oh no,
Yeah.
no, I'm fine. Yeah, my family's fine. It's like I didn't ask about your family. I asked, how are you?
Right.
And
Right.
so those
I hate
conversations are
my
really tough,
life.
man.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My life's falling apart. I don't know, So it's like the reason why I thrive in this space is because you have to bring yourself into a community of people that can keep you accountable, and that
Yes.
they can encourage you in your actual life's journey. Like as a dad, like I have a mentor in relationship, in terms of my marriage. I have guys that I talk to about being a
Yes.
parent, and all sorts of other issues as well. But it's like the more you can practice getting stuff off your chest, with people that you trust. And I think probably the biggest thing that I've learned, bro, like sometimes when you get stuff off your chest with people, they may not be the best people to get the stuff off your chest with. You like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? They could be
Yeah.
in a similar situation. They're like, oh man, I thought my life was bad. Your life is even worse. You know what I mean? Like, you
Right.
find people that you know that has a positive energy, who you know
Yeah.
that you respect and has no judgment on you whatsoever. So I have my friends, but then I have my people I go to and go, hey, I need to share some stuff with you on my heart. And so, yeah, I
We
guess
need to
when it
find a
comes
way
to,
to really encourage that in our family communities, you know, in our
yeah,
Polynesian communities. I don't know about everybody in their community, but I know that when I get, when I get around some of my cousins or some of our community members, we tend to use joking as
yes,
our default mode of like not talking
yeah,
about it, so we'll roast each other or we'll roast
yeah,
ourselves, and we
yeah,
don't we
yeah,
don't really take a moment to say, nah man, I'm with you, I get it,
yeah.
and we
You
kind of
know that,
know just because we kind
yeah,
of know, but we don't really
yeah,
yo
yeah.
man,
Well, I
let's
think the thing is, like, you know, that saying, sticks and stones, what is it? Can break my bones, but words may never hurt me, or something like
mm-hmm,
that.
mm-hmm.
Well, nowadays words do hurt you. Like, that's actually worse than sometimes the physical trauma. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
um, so it's our mask. But particularly, and I can only speak for our Polynesian circles as well. Like,
Yeah,
we do that all the time. Like, we're
we're the
constantly
roast
roasting.
masters, that's all we
You
do,
know,
man, we just be
what the
roasting each
roastmasters,
other.
not the toastmasters,
No,
the
the
roastmasters.
toastmasters.
And
Oh
so
man.
with that gives us, it does give us thick skin, but
Yeah.
at the same time, man, that damages our heart. And we're like,
It does.
do you really think I'm ugly? Really?
Yeah,
You know, when you
right.
put
And
that in
deep
front of
inside,
all our cousins.
yeah. Oh, it brings out the inner child in us. You made a great
Yeah,
point, with the small boy
yeah,
syndrome and learning
yeah.
how to mature and grow up out of there. You know what? We're at like 4:48. Our time, our time is is passing us by. I do want to stop. Um, yeah, yeah. Olga's right. Did you see Pastor Olga's
It's fun.
comment?
Yeah, it's funny. It's
It's
only funny
only
till it
funny if
hurts.
it hurts. Poly
Yeah,
mindset.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
um,
then only after the event, you sort of stand up. You're like, what did you say to me before? It's like, just went from 0 to 100 real quick. Anyway,
let's do our 3, 2, 1 since we're
yeah,
we're wrapping out on time. I do want to give everyone who's watching along and who will catch this on a later stream their educational value. This is the time where we do a section where you can talk, where you can share some really valuable, tangible things that someone can do, and when they leave, they can say, if I do this, this, and this, I know for a fact that I this will help change me in this particular area, bro. So, can you give us 3 tips on being fit?
yes. Okay, here it is. You ready?
I'm ready.
So fit. Start now. Like,
Ooh,
just
oh, that's
start
good.
now. Like, we always say, oh, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start at the end of
Yeah,
the day. Like, start now. And then I'll pair
it's
that
me
with,
every
and
day.
this is still my first tip, is start now, but start small.
Ah,
We often think we have to go and like deadlift like Pastor Rome up in Seattle, like
all right.
300,000 pounds. Like, we think we're supposed to get there straight. It's like,
Yeah,
bro, just
yeah.
deadlift the bar. Like, how's that for a start? So start
Deadlift
now.
yourself
So,
off the
so
couch.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Deadlift your weight off the
Yeah,
couch and back down
yeah,
again. You know what I mean? But I think that's super important. I think the biggest thing is just taking action. Just start. Like,
good.
something small is good. So that's the first tip on that
That's
one.
me every day,
Uh,
Ray. Like I say, like,
yeah,
no, I'll just go tomorrow. I'm too tired today.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just start
Yeah,
now.
it's
Like,
good.
I don't
Start.
like, obviously you and I were talking about my routine of in terms of my fitness routine. Like, I don't enjoy getting up at 10 past 4 every morning. Like, I
Mm,
don't. I don't. And then, I drive and I get to the gym at 5 a.m. and then I train and then I'm back at home. But before I get there, I'm just thinking to myself, man, I started by just driving here. So I'm here. Like, that's it.
right.
I just have to get up. So start small, start now. The next one is ask for help. Often
Ask
we
for help.
think we
Ooh,
have to
that's
journey.
good.
Yeah, we think we have to journey alone. It's like, hey, if there's someone
Yeah.
that that is like that, you go like, hey, do you mind if we go for a walk?
Yeah.
I just want to start my fitness journey or whatever. I just want to go for a walk and run a block. Can we meet up maybe once or twice a week? Maybe go shoot some hoops. Like, make that a regular thing. And I think a
Mm,
routine is super, super important. So ask for help. The third one would be That's that's my school kids on break. They're like, so excuse me. And I think
That's
I
cool.
mentioned it before about don't compare with others. Like comparison
Good.
kills. Like stop comparing. Stop looking at social media at
Yeah.
people with six packs and you going, I don't have a six pack. Well, stop watching them then. like
Or we do it even in the
don't
gym. Like,
compare.
when you're working out in the gym and you see
Yeah,
somebody lifting
yeah.
more, you're like, oh, I better start lifting more. But you can't lift more, but you're
That's
going to do
right.
it
That's right.
because,
That's right. Hey, drop the ego. Drop the ego.
yeah,
We all
drop it.
started. The greatest of the athletes or those who you follow on fitness, they all started from like nowhere. Like
Right.
they couldn't do anything. So be patient with that process. So those are my tips for fitness.
Oh, so good.
Um,
So
yeah,
good. Start now, start small. Ask for help
yeah,
and
yeah.
don't compare. Don't
Don't compare.
compare.
Don't
That
compare.
one
Yeah,
actually applies universally across the board
absolutely.
to
Yeah, yeah.
everything. Just stop
Everything.
comparing yourself. You
Stop
don't have
comparing. Yeah,
to. Like, you've been
yeah,
made God's handyman. You're
yeah,
his
yeah,
workmanship.
yeah, yeah,
Embrace
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I think, and oh, sorry, I'll
No,
throw in
no, go
this
ahead.
like quick thing, but I think as well, like we compare not just the way that I wish I was super fit, but then also body shape types. Like
Yeah.
I'm not made like my frame. I'm always been lean.
Hmm.
Like I'm not a strong man build. Like I got shoulders that come above my head. Like I'm not
Yeah.
huge. It's silly of me to go, oh, I wish I was that big. Well,
Yeah.
God didn't
Yeah.
make me that way. And yeah. So
Right.
anyway, next one.
My body frame is lean on me because I need to be leaning on stuff all the time.
I'll be leaning on
Yeah, lean up
the
on this
water
couch and eat
fountain.
this donut. All right, give us two tips on fate. Give us two tips on fate, man.
Be intentional,
Yep.
right? Be intentional, and again, that's a universal thing. But I think for me
Yeah.
on faith, whether it be your prayer life, your devotional life, or even the community that you want to be a part of, be intentional about that community. I shared with you off air again, like there's a CrossFit community that I'm a part of every
Yeah.
Saturday morning, run by just a
Yes.
passionate Christian man. He's not Seventh Day Adventist, like he just said. Here's a space that I want to bring unchurched people to
Mm.
share the word. We do worship, and then we have a workout. And
Yes.
so for many of these guys that come into this place, like they have no affiliation to church or Christianity, but they're like, we come here because we trust you guys. And if you guys say this God thing
Yeah.
is a good thing, then we're with you. And so be intentional about that particular space because that's where God is. You know what I mean? Like God
Mm.
is with you everywhere you go. So with faith, it's like be intentional. Like if you're intentional about, like for me, if I'm intentional about being here in this public high school, then I know that God's going to come and bless it because I'm
Yeah.
intentional about going, hey, I want to take my light into that particular community. Um,
So good.
what else? Oh, and then I think the same thing I sort of mentioned before, just run your lane, like be who God has called you to be. Like for a long time, and probably even now for most of us, we always think, oh, I don't know if I should do that or should be like, even though naturally I'm like, I actually do want to do that. I do want to express my faith in that way, or
Yeah.
this is how God has given me, funny sense of humor and, crazy ability to go out and dance hip hop with these kids. And they're like, man, we've never seen an adult dance like you. It's like, I'm not the greatest dancer, but I'll give it a go. Like, I don't
Right.
care. Like,
Right.
but I'm being intentional about in that space as well. Yeah.
A
So
part, a
that's
part of
faith,
you,
faith,
if
faith.
you're going to care about people, cannot care about other things. Like if you want to
Yeah.
prioritize your caring for
Yeah.
connecting, you're gonna have to drop your caring for how you
Yeah.
look, which is
Yeah. Yeah.
hard for us as human beings because we like to have
Yeah.
a particular reputation or
Yeah.
sense of
Yeah.
So that's big.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's big.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, we've almost ran completely out of time. I am hanging out with Pastor Ray. Ray, are you pastoring right now as well?
At the moment, no, I'm not because
Mm,
I was just sharing with you. So I'm a high school chaplain, but then I'm also just been accepted to be chaplain in our army. So I'm about to start in a few weeks' time.
very
But I'm
good.
associated with my local church as well. So not
What's your local
specifically,
church? We want
but
to give them a shout out.
Harvest Community Church, Harvest
Harvest
Community
Community
Church here in
Church.
Brisbane. Yeah,
All
that's
right,
the
all
that's,
right.
that's the church we had. We got Pastor Singila. He's just recently. So it's the church that I was looking after last
Yep.
year for the last 2 years. But then because I shifted into this line of work, he came and replaced me. So Yeah, he's a good dude, man. I love him. I
Phenomenal.
love him. He's a man.
Phenomenal. Hey, we're gonna play a game before we head out of here, bro. You want to play with me?
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is how the game works. We've got a minute and a half on our clock here. I'm gonna switch this up and get it right for us. We've got a minute and a half on this clock, and I'm just gonna go down a short list, and I'm gonna give you one or another thing. You get to choose which one you love. Whatever you love, we get to all keep and use and enjoy for the rest of our lives, the whole world. Whatever you choose not to love, that thing disappears from existence forever. So like no one ever again can have that thing. Ray, there's no pressure, but if you pick the wrong one, we're never gonna be able to enjoy that. All right. Okay,
let's go.
Play along
Let's
with us. Those of you at home, we haven't played this in a couple weeks, so I figured we'll throw it back in today. And go ahead and type in what your answer would be for these. We've got a minute and a half on the clock. I've got a shorter list today because I knew we were going to run out of time. So we'll just go until we're out of the list or until your time's up. Here we go. All right. Ray, taro or cooked bananas?
Tara.
All right. Singing or preaching? One of them's got to disappear forever. Never again to be done.
Preaching. Singing. 'Cause you can sing your preach. You know what I mean? Like
don't try to make little loopholes here, man. Okay, American burgers or Thai curry?
Thai curry.
Bye, America. Goodbye. All right. Pull-ups or push-ups?
Pull-ups. All about the pull-ups.
Oh, man. You know, you realize the majority of the population of the world, we cannot do pull-ups. Sweet or savory?
Oh, wow, bro. Why? I would say savory.
All right. Dressed up or workout gear? You can only have one kind of clothes. Are you always going to wear workout gear everywhere or always dressed up everywhere?
Nah, dressed up. That'd be cool.
You got to do your pull-ups in a suit, baby.
That's right. Hey, that's a new Instagram account. Come on now.
Moses or Paul? Yes, Olga, me too. Sweet. All the way.
Paul.
Oh, you got it in. All right. We'll give you Paul. Even though that does mean the children of Israel will never set free. So thanks, Ray, for letting yeah, they'll be fine. The Lord will send someone else.
Just find someone else. Yeah, the Lord will send someone else.
Very good. All right, man. We're going to close out our time together here. I do want to thank you so much for jumping on in here with us for the hour, Ray. You've been fantastic. I want to thank you guys for staying with us online over here. I know we dropped out on YouTube, but we're still on Facebook. So if you would like some apparel from Uso Gear for the first 3 people that jump into our IG and just direct DM me your info. I'll send you some stuff all the way to Texas, Olga, because you rock. And I know Shaq's got gear, but Shaq, I'd throw you some gear anyways because you my boy, you my Uso. So so drop into my IG, ONEHousesocal IG, DM me, and I'll make sure that you get some gear. I'll connect with Ray because you guys are starting to get your stuff rolling again, right?
Yeah, we're starting.
When do you hit the ground going?
Hopefully within this month. What month?
Sweet.
Yeah, a few weeks time. Yeah.
Then I'll make sure we all rock the gear and take pictures, and then we'll send it to you.
Sweet.
All right. So as we close out for our time together, Ray, one last question for you. Could you share some words of inspiration and encouragement for those who are watching or who are going to catch this a little bit later?
What can I share? Just be you. Like, God has uniquely created you the way you are, with your flaws, with your faults, with your pimples. Yes, I still get pimples and I'm 37 years old, but just be you, man. Like, that's it. That's all I can say. And just say, be you, because there's no one else like you. Like, we don't need imitators. We just need the real you. So that encapsulates everything. Just be who God has called you to be.
Yes. Truth at its best right there. Just be you. God's not asking you to be anybody else. just to be the best you can be and be faithful to him. My friends, thank you again for hanging out with us here at Tuesday Tea Time. I want to thank my guy Ray for coming on. Ray, you got to come back on with us later down the future, man. We'd love to hear how the USO clothing is going and how ministry is going for you as you're taking on a new role soon. To all of you out there, I pray that you stay true to God and true to yourself. Do your best to be as flavorful as you can be for God wherever you find yourself. And until next Tuesday, man, my friends, stay safe, God bless, and be good. Take care.